basically the essence of leveraging artificial intelligence is to make sure that you are using it to improve the process that you already, you know, use in your business, right? So if you are, I don't have a different use case. Can someone, share their own use case here? Maybe I can use theirs as an example. um Jackson, can you share what you do? Maybe I can use what you do as an example.
Okay, I'm a graphic designer.
A graphic designer.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So if you're going to use artificial intelligence to improve like your workflow, you're going to be asking ChatGPT, oh, how can I create a compelling, um, say you're a graphic designer, right? So you're going to be servicing people that need logos, people that need flyers, you know, things like that. So you're going to ask questions like, oh, how can I create a compelling brand identity for a specific brand? So you might be limited to certain industries based on your work experience, right? You might have not worked with a pharmaceutical company before, or you might have not worked with an let's say a an aeronautic engineering business right now, right? You might have not worked with them before, but with ChatGPT or with artificial intelligence tools, you're able to ask questions that are specific to that particular industry. But even if you are limited in your own personal knowledge base, you're able to leverage artificial intelligence to ask it questions that it would give you results that have been processed through data. And because you are able to use this, you are now able to make better decisions in your graphic design process on what fonts to use, what colors to use, what visual style, what branding style to use, right? Do you understand? So it's essentially leveraging artificial intelligence to make sure that your processes, like your workflow processes, are refined. They're also improved to help you generate speed. Because if you had to, do research on an aeronautic engineering business, it can take you 3 to 5 days, and that would increase, the delivery time or the turnaround time for what you have to deliver to the client. But with artificial intelligence now, your research time can be shortened by a day or two, right? Because it will be able to scrap through a lot of data that you would not even necessarily have to go through. It's able to give you refined answers from the abundance of the data that it already has, right? And this is how we can leverage artificial intelligence for our own businesses or the things that we already do. It's basically to improve the existing process or workflows that we have, to also um, refine these processes, making sure that you know, um, they are not still, quote unquote, still, for the lack of a better word, so that your processes are not just the same thing. You have a renewed process every time that you have to do a certain task. That's essentially that. I think that we've been able to gain so much ground with the questions that have been asked, and also how it has also been connected to the topic of today's discussion. So, does anyone else have a question before we wrap it up? Okay, I'm going to give like 5 or 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'm going to take this as a no. So, without further ado, we're going to call it a day. I believe that we've been able to cover a lot of things that we discussed today, from the initial discussion of e-commerce to the evolution of e-commerce to the impact of e-commerce in purchasing decision and also how businesses operate, to things like leveraging artificial intelligence for digital marketing, and also what else did we talk about? Yeah, essentially those four sections or four phases of today's discussion. So in our next class, we are going to be talking about the next module. We're going to talk about um, okay. Okay, in the next class, we're going to be talking about categorization of digital marketing for the business, diagnosis of your present website and your business, setting up a vision, mission, and goals of digital marketing. I think we still have some time. Yeah, we still have some time. So we can still talk about that in this class. So I've already talked about diagnosis of your present business and your website in this class. I didn't talk about website, so I'm just going to ask for the people that are present right now. So Angela, um, Jackson, Damilari, do you guys have websites?
For now, I don't have, but I would like to have one.
Okay, what about you, Jackson?
No, I don't have a website though.
Okay, what about you, Damilari?
I don't have a website. I don't.
You don't have a website.
Yes,
Okay,
I deal with
what do you do,
I'm a farmer.
Damilari?
I'm into farming.
What do you do?
Farming,
Oh,
farming,
you're into
farming.
agriculture.
Yeah, farming.
Okay, what type of products do you cultivate in your farm?
And they are crop production, coconut and palm kernel, and annual crop. Like okay, like this year now, I did maize, but I've harvested that. But
Maize.
majorly it's coconut and palm kernel. But they are still on. They are not yet. They are not. They have not come into a stage of harvest of bearing fruit now because I
Okay,
started
where
mid
is your
last year.
location? Are you located in
Abeokuta.
Lagos?
No, my family is in Abeokuta, but I stay in Lagos.
Okay, is everyone on
But
this
my
call
wife
in
does,
Lagos?
but, but my wife does other business like she sell chemicals and which we are part. We do that together. But she has an online presence. I just want to learn more to help her in that area. But for the website we don't have here, but we are all looking forward to open it very soon.
Okay, I'm just going to ask because this phase of the class now that we're highlighting or what we're touching, right, is to diagnose your businesses and see how we can leverage digital marketing or leverage technology. So, um, okay, Jackson is in Akwa Ibom. Angela, are you in Lagos?
Yeah, I'm in Lagos.
Okay, so Angela and Damilare are in Lagos and Jackson is in Akwa Ibom. So I've diagnosed Angela's business rather, and I've also given her, I've shared with her solutions that she can adopt. If she wants to like leverage digital marketing, I've shared that in this class. I've also done for Jackson, like in a very short and straightforward means. Jackson, hope that was enough. But if it wasn't, just let me know if I can just explore a bit more on that.
Yeah, it was great. Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, so for the remaining 20 something minutes that we have, let's focus on Damilari. So Damilari, you say you're into agriculture and you cultivate maize and
Yes.
coconut and palm kernel, right? So how are you
No,
going to leverage?
I've not cultivate the pancana and coconut. It's just the maize I cultivate this year.
Okay,
Do you
but
understand now?
that's what you do, so it still
Yes.
stands, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So even if you've not harvested it yet, it will still pass. So taking a look at your business, right? It is something that obviously requires an online presence, but before we delve into like the technicalities of things that you can do, um, what is like your goal with what you're trying to do? Are you trying to export to other states or other countries? What is your goal as a business owner? You're looking to like leverage, digital marketing. What is
Yes,
your goal?
my goal is to export it because one of the reasons why I go into especially coconut is because I was reading an article and I discovered that the coconut water is good for health.
Mm,
And at the point, I read that it is also used when as a medical doctor, when they put things together, it can be used to cure cancer. She understand.
mm,
So, and those are part of things I'm looking at. And the shell of the coconut, they can also use it for furniture. There are some mini furniture they can use for, so which they are very expensive in the US, especially in the US. So these are things I'm looking for to export it, because I'm really doing it on a large scale, on a 1 acre land. If by God give I have more money, I will buy another 1 acre to expand it. So that's what I'm doing. So my intention is to export it together with the palm kernel to produce palm oil and to export.
awesome, awesome. So I'm just going to use that coconut as an example because it's something I can pick on. I don't have an extensive experience in agriculture, but my background is in computer, right? So if we're going to highlight or give the spotlight to your coconut business, right? What I can think of right now at the top of my head is leveraging, you know, your coconut products as a means to, you know, selling them to people who make skincare products. So I'm sure that when you harvest your coconuts, right, people who make skincare products, people who make coconut oil or skincare oil, they use a lot of this products. They use a lot of this extract rather in their product. So what you will be looking at doing is looking at businesses, skincare or manufacturing businesses that need coconut, right? What you sell, even if it's not limited to skincare, you can also look at food because coconut is a fruit that people eat, right? So if you're looking at top manufacturers in Nigeria that require coconut for their produce, right? So you can look at the likes of Chivita. Look at also smaller companies that are not as big as those household names, and start looking at how you can reach them online. So you have to start at the research phase, right? If we're going to diagnose your business right now, you're going to start at the research phase where you're looking at the top 10 or let's start with top 10 or top 20 manufacturing companies in Nigeria that need coconut. That is something that you can type in your Google search, or even ask ChatGPT, or ask Bard, which is Google's version of ChatGPT, right? Ask it um, what are the top 10 manufacturing companies that need coconut produce or coconut extract, right? Once it gives you the result, you now use that to make your decision or make inference on what you're doing and how you want to reach them. If you start with a Google search, when you get your answers from the Google search and you get a list of the top 10 or top 20 companies, your goal is to now reach out to or get their contact list of these 10 to 20 companies. So you get their phone numbers and you reach out to them. You call the 10 to 20 companies and inquire about their need for this produce, because like I said, if nobody knows what you do, nobody's going to patronize you. And because we are able to even search for these companies using Google or using artificial intelligence to get their contacts, right? You are able to reach these companies directly. Obviously, you're going to be reaching like their customer care or their business lines, right? Another way you can also narrow your search down is that you narrow your search down to the people who are stakeholders in that business. And where do you find these people? These are people you can find on LinkedIn. So you go to, let's use an example, say, let's say we're using Chivita right now because the household name, right? You can go to LinkedIn and search head of manufacturing Chivita, right? When you narrow your search down to different social media platforms, so you've already gone from Google search. Now you are going to social media search where you're able to see who is a key stakeholder in making these decisions and can make a decision to either buy from your company or buy from your company, because when you're able to see who is the head of manufacturing, you're able to know the person's name. You're able to even get the person's email from LinkedIn, right? If the person you know shares access to that on LinkedIn. But even if the person doesn't, LinkedIn has a feature where when you subscribe to LinkedIn Premium or you pay for LinkedIn Premium, you're able to get people's contact details that they willingly share. So there are things like their email, right? When you subscribe for LinkedIn Premium, you're able to get their email, right? Once you do that, you have access to the key stakeholder, which is the decision maker, the head of manufacturing. You're able to send him an email, like a comprehensive or a cohesive email where you're talking about your product or talking about your business and how you can service them as a company, selling your products to them. This is an entire this is an entire chain of this is an entire chain um, of marketing where you're coming from someone who is obscure about your product, doesn't know about your product, doesn't know about your company, who is obscure about your product, and you are getting the person up to speed on what you do, right? So in that email, you are pitching to this person, this is what I do, this is a link to my website, this is a link to the things that I've done, this is a link, this is also, in the past 3 to 5 years, we've been able to produce, 1 to 3 tons of coconut, and we've been able to sell all of them. You are pitching yourself to this person and making sure that the person is able to, have a certain level of conviction to even respond to your mail or want to even continue the conversation, right? I'm just giving you a broad idea of how you can leverage, digital search and social media to market your product, right? Because as a farmer, your goal is to sell your product, right? Your goal is to sell your product. If you're not doing the consumer route where you are trying the manufacturing route where you are trying to sell your harvested products to manufacturing companies, look at the top 10 skincare products in Nigeria, or top 10. Let's even Nigeria is a very wide search. Google top 10 skincare
Lagos.
companies in Lagos, right? When you do that, you are able to you're able to get a list of businesses that you can reach out to. These are businesses that will need your products, right? Because they buy from farmers as well. They buy from people who sell coconuts because they need coconut extracts. They need the water, or they need the bark of the coconut. I'm just giving you an insight into how you can go about your search processes before you now go into things like opening a website or opening an Instagram account, right? You can also do that, right? But what your goal is to do is, first of all, going through the initial phases of getting people to know, or getting to know about the people that you can, sell your products to before they even find out about you. Now, finding out about you would be obviously leveraging social media channels, right? If you have a farm, the day you go to the farm, you take a video of what the farm looks like, what stage it is. So, in your case as a farmer, you want to be able to position yourself as an expert by educating people about what you do. So, you're telling them, oh, this is a particular type of maize, the period of duration, the duration of the period between cultivation and harvest is this month. So people are able to understand what you do. You're also educating them that, oh, this was planted 6 months ago, so it will be planted 3 months ago, so it will be harvested in the next 1 or 2 months. I don't know the duration of harvest of maize, so I'm just trying my best here with numbers. So
The
you're
duration is
telling
just 3 months.
3 months,
You're correct.
okay.
Yeah, 3 months.
Okay, so you're telling them that, oh, this was cultivated within this period of months, and it will be harvesting in the next couple of months. The next thing you're going to be doing is that you are creating, with what you've done, you've already created interest because you are educating people about what you do, right? So that creates interest. What you're now going to do is converting that interest into leads. And how do you convert them into leads? You create a poll on Instagram. How you create a poll on Instagram is that you go to your Instagram story, you video what you're doing, like you video yourself in your farm, then you swipe up, you see like different features there. You see polls, you see music. So once you click on polls, a poll is basically a feature where people are able to submit their interest in certain things. So you can um, just think about it like an election poll, right? Where people are able to um, indicate their interest in certain things depending on what you listed. So from what you've already talked about, saying that, oh, we planted this in this month, it will be harvested in this month. What you're now going to do is create a poll. Say, if you're interested in getting this tasty or this amazing corn, you're going to really hype it in a way that is appealing. That's something that everyone needs to study in marketing or digital marketing. It's not just about leveraging all these technologies. You have to also leverage things like storytelling, persuasive writing, and making sure that what you're doing is in a compelling manner, so it creates interest. So you're telling them, oh, if you're interested in getting this tasty sweet corns in October or in November when it's going to be harvested, um, let me instead of saying let me know, click in the poll. You can just say what's the option now? You can say let's say the options are yes, no, and maybe, right? People who see that post, some of them are going to click no. That's people that are uninterested. Someone who is unsure will click maybe, and someone who clicks yes, you'd also get reactions from it, and then from there you are able to see from the result of the poll. You're able to see the account that participated in that poll. You're able to now reach out to them in the DM saying, so you reach out to the account that indicated yes. So you reach out to them, oh hi, I noticed that you indicated yes in this poll, and you'd like to get some corns when they are harvested. You've already created a path to convert to sales where the person has already indicated interest. Now you have to now convert that interest into sales by following up with that person. That person that indicated yes is already a lead, right? That person is already a lead. So what you're now going to do is you're reaching out to the person. Hey, I noticed your interest in this. What type of what's the number of like products? What's the number of items that you would need? What's the volume? How soon do you need it? Just follow up in a very friendly and warm manner, and that way you are able to convert people who did not even know about your product to loyal customers, right? That is I've been able to give you like an idea to how you can transform the state of your agricultural business leveraging social media. And I've not actually seen a lot of farmers doing this. So it will be an advantage for you because now you're exposed to things like digital marketing, you're exposed to things like social media marketing, where you're able to interact with people online. And before you know it, you're able to build a decent following online because you're able to educate people about agriculture, educate people about things like farming and the food. You know, you're not even going to educate them about agriculture in general. You're going to educate them about food because people care about what they eat and people care about what they consume. So your emphasis will be on the message of how people should care about what they eat, how people should care about where their food comes from, how people should care about, the processes involved in getting their food from the farm to the market. So this in turn would create, trust in what you sell and trust in your business because you're able to educate people who are oblivious to where their food comes from or how the process is, you know to a stage where they are getting informed and they now trust you because they see you as an expert who is able to share knowledge, right? They are able to now trust you, and once people are able to trust you, right, they are able to buy from you because when people know you and they like you and they trust you, you are able to sell anything and anything to them. So people have to know you. That's the first stage in like getting brand awareness, which is under digital marketing. People have to like you, not like you as but like you as a person, but like you in the sense that they are able to attribute some sort of rapport with what you do because of the value that you provide, right? And trust you in the sense that with how they've known you and how they've already, followed your content, they're able to trust that you will deliver the value that you have to provide. Deliver on time, deliver on terms of value, in terms of quality, and also just deliver in terms of overall business experience, right? So I hope I've been able to like give you like an insight into how you can you can do this. Maybe in subsequent classes there'll be like practical examples where I'm talking about like running an ad or using your Instagram platform or using a social media platform to promote your product or your service. Damila, I hope that answers your question or has helped you in any way. I'm Larry. I think I'm Lara has left.
Uh, I appreciate that.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay. We have to call it a day now. We are 2 minutes out. So
Can you
I
hear
yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. So thank you so much guys for sharing your sharing about your business and sharing about the things that you do and how I've also been able to contribute in my little ways by sharing strategies that you can also use to transform the state of your business by leveraging like digital marketing channels. Um, yeah, I really appreciate you guys for your time and taking time to talk about what your business is about. I just hope that the things that we've talked about here are things that you've taken actual notes and that you would also perform, like execute in your business operation. So it's not just a class where we'll talk, but it's a class where we're able to learn. It's a class where you're able to take notes and also execute all the things that you've learned in your actual businesses, right? And that's really the goal of this entire session. All right. Thank you so much, guys, for taking out time. And I will see you in the next class. That is next week, Wednesday. Same time next week. Um, have a wonderful evening, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your day.